Hi, everyone. Life Coach Carissa here. I'm back with you today to offer some support to anyone who wants to make changes in their life and they find themselves struggling to even get started or to stick with it when things get challenging or get so close to reach their finish line of what it is they want to change, and maybe they don't get all the way there, right? Like, I am here for you. We are going to talk about change today, why change is so hard. Okay. Now, my voice has changed, and over the last 2 weeks I've been battling this simple little cold, but it had my voice completely gone for a while, and now it is this very deep tone. I seem to get this every year. But anyway, I decided that I can't wait any longer. I need to get my next video message out. So deep voice it is. We are going to embrace the change of my voice and move forward. So today we are talking all about why change is hard. Okay. So this is for anyone who wants to get answers to why change is so hard and who wants to try to get momentum to make change. I am here for you. Please stick with me. All right. So change is hard. How many times have we heard that? It's not very helpful, but change is absolutely necessary for survival. So in this video, I'm going to share some reasons why your brain finds change to be so hard. It's not you, it is your human brain. And I'm going to share how to identify what it is you really want to change, because I think sometimes we have some confusion in what it is we specifically want to change, so we never get started. And then lastly, we will talk about ways to get some momentum going when it comes to the change you so desperately want to make. All right, so let's talk about why change can be so hard for us. Well, change is hard because of one huge overarching reason. There is a part of our brain that is focused on conserving energy to keep us alive. Now, let's not downplay that. This is a fact. Your brain wants to keep you alive. So it does what is needed to accomplish that. It conserves energy so that at any moment, you will have the energy that you may need to potentially save your life. This is how we were designed. It's how we have survived, and it is a part of us. So as you form these habits and patterns for how you function in your life, your brain creates these neural pathways so it can be efficient to repeat these quickly and easily. It doesn't have the ability to distinguish and know if these are bad things for you. It will create the pathway because it wants to conserve energy. Our amygdala, which is a part of our brain, is hardwired to resist change. It interprets change as a threat, and that will release hormones for fear, flight, or fight. Doesn't that tell you everything as to why it's so darn hard to make changes in your life? It should. Your brain is hardwired to resist change. Change is a threat. You cannot change that instinctual part of how your brain functions. So we must learn how to work with that. Mental comfort is a real thing. This is the part that we are not taught in school. We learn that we have a brain, but we don't learn the techniques for how to get the most out of our brain, or how to work alongside of our brain, or take charge of our brain. Everything we purchase typically comes with an operating manual, right? Well, we never received one on an operating manual for how this sophisticated brain of ours works. So today I want to leave you with a better understanding so you can take charge and bring yourself some much needed relief. How long do we spend wanting change in our life? I want to change that. I want to fix that. I want to not be this way. I want to change this thing about me. I want to change this aspect of my life. And we spend year after year after year struggling with this. I want to help you with this. Okay. I've been there, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. So what I want to talk about today is how to identify what you want to talk about. What I want to identify is what you want to change in your life. The reason you need to think about this is because when you're going up against that brain that I just described, you can't just come into this with a knee-jerk plan. You need to think about this deeper. Use your intelligent brain to decide what it is that needs changing in your life, and then have a game plan on how you will navigate this. Writing these things down on paper is a great way to make a big impact with your brain. Remember, your brain is resisting any change that you want to make, right? So if you had a boss and you wanted to make a change, well, you wouldn't walk into that boss's office and just stand there and say, I want to make this change, right? No, you would go into this with a game plan on how to state your case to give you the best chance of success. You'd maybe have a list of reasons why the change is important and what can come as a result of this change. So look at your brain no differently. You need to get your brain on board. And writing this down is one way to solidify the power behind the change that you want to make. So get very clear on what aspect it is you want to change. Do you want to change your habit of being late to work? Do you want to lose 10 pounds off your body weight? Or do you want to lose 2 inches off your waist instead? Do you want to stop feeling so negative? Do you want to increase the amount in your savings? What is the change you want to make? Sometimes this may need to be broken down into micro changes, okay? That can be very helpful in honing in our focus. We can't look at this huge, broad change. We got to bring it down to a smaller scope, right? The harder the change, the more preparation you'll need to consider. You know, addictions such as alcohol, food, and drugs, they have a physical hormone connection to our brain. So you cannot go into this without a plan, especially if something that you want to change is on the addictive spectrum. Okay, so we've talked about why change is hard and how to get focused on what you specifically want to change. I want to talk about how to create the momentum for change. I know this is not going to make you feel warm and fuzzy, but here is a big one. You have to get uncomfortable. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. If we know change is resisted by our brain, then we know we are most likely not going to be comfortable in this process. It's okay. It doesn't have to be comfortable all the time. You have a higher reason why this change is important to you and why it needs to happen. It doesn't have to be enjoyable to keep moving forward. When you start, as your brain becomes more familiar with this new plan, it will slowly ease up and give less resistance. As you break down the walls, you will have more capacity for change. But in the beginning, it may not feel comfortable, and that's okay. That's completely normal. This is why in other videos, I talk about how to feel all your feelings, the uncomfortable ones. Let's get better at feeling them, because if we can just feel a feeling that doesn't feel so good and keep moving forward, we can build that momentum, okay? So I'm going to list this out in easy steps. I'm keeping this short today because my voice will probably start giving out on me. Okay, so I'm going to list it out. Understand and acknowledge how your brain works, okay? That was the first part of what I talked about. I want you to really repeat that to yourself and become comfortable with the fact that this is how your brain works, okay? It's a fact. Then identify the specific area of your life you want to change. Don't take on too many. Just pick one at a time, okay? We have 365 days in a year. We don't need to take everything on all at once. Pick the one small thing, okay? Then dig deeper within yourself and have a firm belief into why you need this change to happen, okay? You got to have a belief as to why this change is important to you. Is it something for you? Is it something for others? What is your motivation, okay? Then we're going to create your strategy. We're going to get very micro with it. Break it down into the small actionable steps that can help build that momentum. And then make a commitment to yourself and keep it. Put it on that calendar. Put it in front of you. Keep a reminder. If you misstep, there is no need to beat yourself up. You just dust it off, you move on, and you try again the next day. The only failure is when you quit on your goal, okay? Or you let your brain tell you that it's not important enough anymore, all right? Then be in tune with yourself and notice when you don't follow through or you're struggling a little bit. And I want you to be kind and supportive and coach yourself back on track. Okay? So I know those steps sound simple and easy, but my friends, I know it isn't easy. Okay? It is so worth it though. Okay? All right. Now, since the fall of 2020, I have made so many changes in my life that it actually makes my head spin when I sit and think about it. Okay? I stopped drinking. I stopped overeating. I stopped being depressed. I was able to get off of my anti-anxiety medication. I stopped being so negative. I eat healthier. I improved my physical lab work, right? Proof is in the numbers. I left my family business of 47 years and I changed careers. I didn't have a fully made financial plan of how I was going to make this happen, but I embraced the change and I began the journey and I created momentum. I started a new business. I stopped overworking and I found a way to create a work-life balance. I started to dream and have more fun in my life. I improved my relationship with money scarcity. I improved my relationship with my husband, with my children, with myself. I implemented a self-care routine that includes physical exercise as well as mental support. I am more grateful. I am less judgmental. I don't get easily bothered. I am so much more patient. I learned to feel my emotions rather than buffer against them. I learned to love my body as it is. I have released stored trauma and pain from my childhood. And I encourage myself to not stay in my comfort zone and try new things that challenge me. I am always looking to improve what doesn't feel in alignment with who I am today. So the journey never ends. I didn't say those things to make you feel bad about yourself. I said them because I am so passionate that you can change the things that you want to have different in your life. That list before to me was unattainable, but I was able to find a process and follow it and just keep moving on to the next thing in my life. And momentum built up and the change just became easier. I'm not perfect. I am still a flawed human being, but I'm constantly looking for those things that don't feel right. You know, I love being aware and modifying what doesn't serve me anymore or what doesn't contribute to me being the positive individual doing good in the world that I want to be. And there's a negative voice inside here, right? That I work with. Sometimes I battle with. Sometimes it wins, but I don't let it stop me. I keep moving forward. I keep working towards that change that I want to see in myself. So I say all these things because it's doable. I am not any different than you. Yes, we are told change is hard, and it is because of factual reasons about the way that our brain is wired. But I am a living example, along with many others, that it can be done. Spend the time visualizing and reinforcing why this change is needed and why it matters to you. Don't tie the change into a belief that when that change happens, your life's going to just feel so much better. The truth is that life is still going to be 50-50 when you get there. This is just something that you want to improve in your life because it matters to you. What it does bring is a sense of control and optimism and peace in your life. If you couldn't tell, I am so passionate about this because I see the suffering in the world, and I see the suffering within people, the same suffering that I used to have for so many years. And I want better for you. I want you to find a better life, a more peaceful life, not a perfect life that doesn't have pain, but one that we understand how to bend and flex and navigate through it. All right, everyone. So that is what I have for you today. Thank you for listening. If you are someone or you know someone who is struggling to make change in their life, please, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I have openings for one-on-one clients, but I also have a couple spots for free complimentary coaching at the moment. I love to give back, so I always have several spots for a few individuals to work with me at no cost to them. So that is a huge opportunity for someone to jump on. All you have to do is reach out to me. Send me a message on any of my social channels or go to my website at lifecoachingwithcarissa.com. I would love to chat with you about what I do and how I can help you make the changes that you want in your life. It just takes that one step, right? You take the one step, you take a step forward, you reach out, right? You find support to help you get started, whether that's a therapist, a coach, a trainer, a financial advisor, a addiction support. Just take the first step, right? If not me, figure out who could be on your team to help you get the momentum. But I am here, all right? Thank you for watching. Please click that like button. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can be the first to know when I release a new video. Remember, change is hard, yes, but we can get through it. We just have to take that first step of action. And I hope that you will do that. Okay. All right, everyone. Have a great day, and I will see you next time.